Presenting the 2014 BBT annual report. As you heard in the previous sessions, this Brihat Mridanga of Prabhupada is in an upbeat position. It's creating a very nice kirtan on the African continent, and the conclusions of it have been presented. So in this presentation, we'll try to attach some numbers. So this map shows the distribution or the activity of book distribution on the African continent. As Jayabhata Maharaj mentioned, ISKCON is present in 11 countries out of 52 countries on the continent. We have 13, but as the map shows you, we're getting book scores from 13 countries across the continent. And so some of these countries don't really have established centers, but because of the activity of book distribution, they're able to sustain their Krishna conscious lives. They're able to give Krishna consciousness to others. So this shows the importance of book distribution in that it can sow the seed of devotional, the creeper in a particular country, so that a devotional community can thrive thereof. So this is one example where we don't have, there is no ISKCON established temple in this particular country, but a full set of books was distributed by the Shastra Dan library program to Al-Qawayan University in Morocco. This was a big victory because it was the first set of Prabhupada's books to an Arabic speaking nation. The significance of Arabic is that 150 million people on the continent speak this language, and so even though there's 22,100 languages on the African continent, but a lot of people speak this language. And so if these books will inevitably land in the right hands, as Prabhupada has remarked about the power of these books, is that even if somehow or other all the temple presidents should go away, or all the current leaders should go away, and there's no robust succession plan for those leaders to take, for the current generation to take over. But if these books just simply are distributed widely, inevitably someone will pick those books up and will be able to establish and begin Krishna consciousness once more. So this was a very significant victory for the Shastradan team. So we can just show our appreciation. Hare Krishna. So this particular graph shows the total book distribution points for 2014. As you can see, Kenya is leading the helm, and the charge of book distribution on the continent is led by Mother Dwarka Vasini Mataji. So the Prabhus, I think you need to get your act together. The rise of book distribution in South Africa, as Jayabhata Maharaj mentioned, was Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu taking up the position of the Minister of Book Distribution in South Africa. So the significance of him taking up this leadership role position was that in 2013, the percentage change, according to the World Sankirtan newsletter, the percentage change of book distribution increase in South Africa from 2012 to 2013 was only 1%. Then Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu took up the helm, and in 2014 the rise was 20%. Hare Krishna. In one low point is, although the top three remains pretty stable, Kenya, South Africa, and Mauritius in the past couple of years, one low point is that although we did the conference in Mauritius, but they had a rise in that year, but in 2014 they had a drop of 28%. So we're a little disappointed by that. Although these numbers in comparison to these appear to be low, but that one there in particular in Zambia is very significant in that the quality of their distribution. So as you'll see in the following slide, Jai Govinda Prabhu, who's an ambassador of BBT Africa, him and his team were able, and Ram Govinda Maharaj were able to distribute a Bhagavad Gita and other Prabhupada books to the first democratic president of Zambia, His Excellency President Kaunda. So it was a great victory for the Sankirtan distribution. So Haribol. DRC is begging for a conference. There's a lot of political instability there, so it's hampering book distribution a lot, but they're trying. And 3 countries are particularly taken care of by our new His Holiness Charadeshna Maharaj, who's in the audience. We are very pleased that one of our own BBT Africa ambassador has taken up this great position as a general in Srila Prabhupada's army. And so he's doing a lot in West Africa. So we'd like to congratulate Maharaj. Haribol. This is an appreciation by His Grace Vijay Prabhu, who's the World Sankirtan Minister for Book Distribution. So last year's December marathon had a percentage increase of 29%. Now this was very significant, and how was it done? So BBT opened up a dialogue between them, and they formulated a educational seminar program where he toured East and West Africa. He went to Nigeria and Ghana, and then he went to Kenya. He remarked that although in West Africa the devotees are poor, but still they are distributing books, and the people there are taking to Krishna consciousness. So he was very convinced, and he was just reiterating the point that bhakti is only related to bhakti, it's not related to circumstance. So this was a motivating factor for all upcoming book distributors, that despite the circumstances that you're in, despite the difficulties that you're experiencing and trying to execute your service, please continue, and persons will take to Krishna consciousness. But in Kenya, where the fruit of this activity is manifesting very nicely, we see that there's a wonderful collaboration between the congregational members who ordinarily can't do book distribution on the weekend. But after attending some of these seminars, they went and they collaborated, and just over a weekend, they distributed over 1,000 books. So one day, as Mother Dwarkavasi, not a weekend, one day. So it was a really excellent collaboration. So this Weekend Warrior program, which His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu has pioneered, we would like it to also take over, all our other ISKCON temples on the African continent. And this is the way to actually push forward a book distribution. So as I mentioned, this is former President of Zambia, President Kaunda, receiving a Bhagavad Gita with His Grace Jai Govinda Prabhu and Ram Govinda Maharaj. And so I would like to invite all of you. So these are ambassadors who are spread on the continent. So we've had an increase of 1 ambassador. That was Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu. And these ambassadors are doing really great work. So, as you know, some temples or some countries have all facility for all resources to be Krishna conscious, and others don't have so much of resources. But still, this wonderful devotional creeper, which Prabhupada had sowed 40 years ago by coming here, and has bore merry fruit. These are prominent fruits on this wonderful devotional tree. So I'd like us to just raise our hands and just show our appreciation for these ambassadors. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are always looking for additional new ambassadors. We are only, book distributions, we only have 9 ambassadors currently enrolled. So please come forward if you'd like to take up this wonderful service. In terms of our financial overview, as was mentioned, our revenue we are getting mainly, we're fulfilling that order of mainly just using ISKCON as the main distribution channel. And we are getting most of our subscriptions from Sri Sri Radhanath through the BTG, the wonderful BTG programs. And this subsidizes our outreach programs such as our annual lectures and this wonderful conference we have here. In terms of our expenses, most of it is being used, as you can see, in the main mandate for which we are, and most of these management and general expenses are subsidized by the donations that we receive. The program expenses are usually the marketing and communications activities that we do, as well as the shipping for our Shastradan program as well. As Jayadvaita Maharaj had mentioned, we also began contributing to the Mayapur construction. And so if you do the Rand-dollar exchange rate, it amounts to over 100,000 Rand last year that we contributed towards the Mayapur project. Our balance sheet is looking very good. In terms of property, we have moved to a new location, and Govardhan Prabhu will, in this year, we're renting from office space, but he'll be getting us a world-class facility in this coming year. And so we have come from a long way. This was our earlier office in 2010, and this was the initial team, and it has grown. We have our prominent outreach event, which we reach out to prominent leaders. We have this Bhaktivedanta Swami lecture, and we try to enthuse book distribution through this electronic magazine called Imprint. And so please join our family. We're really looking forward to your participation, active participation in this wonderful BBT family. We're looking for all the skills. Just to let you know that 4 of the persons present on the team are graduates from the Bhakti Yoga Society, vibrant society here in South Africa. That is the university outreach program. So please continue in your preaching efforts and keep this drum beating of Srila Prabhupada's books being spread on the continent. Hare Krishna.